Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, Jon Jordan. So I've not done a video about CryptoKitties before, I don't think. I've not played CryptoKitties really for a while, as much as you play CryptoKitties, but now I am going to attempt to play it. So CryptoKitties, I won't go into detail, obviously you buy and you breed kitties. The point of the game is you get these kind of limited edition things. So we can see tomorrow there's this prestige traits are coming, and we've got Pirate Month here, and things like that go on. So there's this page one you can do. So I've never done any of this breeding stuff before, in terms of this is what they call them, the fancy cats. But this Krakitten turned up. I thought it was quite cool. So I thought that might be an easy one to breed. I don't know how easy it is. So this page one here is pretty easy. You only have 3 attributes. So basically you have to go and find kitties that have these attributes and then breed in the hope that you can create a kitty with these 3 attributes. Okay, so we can see here on the Krakitten, it has 4 attributes. So cobalt, that's the colour of the tummy; the ducky, which is the feet, duck feet; salty, which is the environment; and then splat, which is the colour scheme. So I basically have to breed a kitty with those 4 attributes. Interestingly, this is limited edition. So this can only be bred until the 6th of May. So in terms of blockchain, how that happens is actually this kind of stuff happens off-chain, so it's not on the Ethereum network. And if you breed one of those, the artwork is then connected to what you've bred. After the 6th of May, the artwork's removed from the sidechain or the off-chain kind of centralized server, and so the artwork's no longer available. So even if you bred a CryptoKitty with these attributes at that point, you wouldn't be able to breed. You wouldn't get the artwork for the Krakitten. So that's kind of how they're driving this kind of limited edition scenario. Obviously, what I could do if I cared about it is to see if this works. So once someone's created a Krakitten, then obviously that's available on the Ethereum network for as long as the Ethereum network is working. So we can see here. There's all these Ethereum. Here we are. There's all these Krakittens are already there, and we can see I could buy one actually fairly cheaply, probably much cheaper than breeding one. But that's not really the fun, is it? In fact, these are not. I mean, some of these are more expensive than others. It depends on the gen and the speed, although they're all about the same. Anyway, we're going to try and breed one. So I have made a start on this. So these are my CryptoKitties, and so let's have a look. So we have Kisser Wetfoot, so we can see that has the ducky feet, so that's got the ducky attribute. We have Amazonoodle, who actually has the ducky feet and the cobalt, the blue tummy. Then we have Riesling Bubs, who has the splat colour scheme, the pattern, and salty, which is the environment. So really, my best bet is to breed together Riesling Bubs and Amazonoodle, because they both have 2 traits. So, but it's still not a very high likelihood that I will get all those 3. So in fact, I think it's like less than 10%. Anyway, so Lucy in the Sky was, you can see, an attempt to breed. Well, we can go and see. It was an attempt to get somewhere with this kind of attribute. So we can see here. Riesling Bubs and Kisser, whatever, Wetfoot with a mother and father. See the parents there, and we can see here on the attributes we didn't get anything we wanted. So that was a disaster. Not a disaster, but it did cost about $1.50. So I'd be much better off buying a Krakitten. We'll see. So I did do another breed. So I bred between Riesling Bubs and Amazonoodle. So this is this little egg here. So let's see what we get. And how that works, Shadow Fabdu. So we've got Ducky, right? So that didn't work very well. So I had mother and father had all the attributes I wanted, and in a certain scenario, I would have got a Krakitten from that, but I haven't. I've got a Ducky. Well, I've got these other attributes. So obviously, in another time and a place, Shadow Fabdu might be quite useful, but not for me at the moment. So let's try again. Obviously, the thing with CryptoKitties is you breed them, it costs you money. or ether, which is money, and also you have to wait for them. So actually, Amazing Noodle has got to wait another 2 hours, because you can see they're slow to breed. So what I could do, actually I can't do anything. I can't rest because Kiss of Westfoot is still resting. So because they're sluggish and Amazing Noodle is slow. So that didn't work out very well at all. So what you can do, actually, I can't do it in this video. I'm gonna have to wait till they're not resting anymore. So I'll come back in 2 hours and see if I can have another attempt. And when we do that, we can kind of see, actually, we can look at how the likelihood of these DNA things coming through. But it is becoming more and more likely that I actually might just go and buy one, because it's going to take a lot longer. It's kind of interesting because it takes. You would kind of think the so we can see. So we can see. Look at this one here. So this is a Krakitten, and we can look to see the parents. So we can see here. This one is a salty and a cobalt, and the other one was obviously has to have the ducky to have the ducky gene. Ducky and salty and splat. So that's splat, salty, and ducky. So it looks like, obviously, the best way of doing it is to get CryptoKitties which have kind of 3 of the attributes already. That's a much better way of getting it. But I will try it a bit harder. So this one here. So this look at this other one. This one's got splat. Oh, this one's got splat, cobalt, and ducky. So it's got 3 of the attributes. And the mother has salty and cobalt, and so she has 3 as well. So it's cobalt, ducky, and salty. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, to get the maths to work, or get the randomness to work, you want the mother and father to have as many, obviously, of the attributes as possible. Yeah, I think my approach is not going to work. Anyway, I'll do another video, and we'll see if we can get further down the line. Hello and welcome back. So I am still attempting to breed one of these Krakkittens by the 6th of May. It's now the 2nd of May, and I might give up. No, I won't, but I might if nothing happens. So yeah, I did. I've got an egg to open, so let's see if this did any better than the last one. Right, so that didn't do much better. So I can see here now I'm becoming a bit of an expert. I can see this is a salty, has a salty attribute, but it's certainly not cobalt, and it's certainly not ducky, and it's certainly not splat. So let's have a look. We can see here salty, yeah. So that's not working out very well at all. So remember what we were doing. It loads up. So I've got Riesling Bubbles, who is salty and splat, and Amazing Noodle, who is ducky and cobalt. So I'm trying to breed those 2 together to try and get those 4 traits into one. And at the moment, the examples I've done have not worked out. So Shadow Fabdo has the ducky, and Susie Blue Socks, the one who just turned up, has the salty. So it's not working terribly well. So we can actually go and see how unlikely this is to happen by doing this, I think. So let's see if I can do this. So if I go, I'm going to breed again. So I'm going to breed with my kitties. Okay. So if you say the Dane this time is going to be Amazing Noodle. Okay, so those 2. So those are all the attributes we need. Now we can see this is interesting. Want some details on what the offspring could look like? Check out the kittyhelper.co .co breeding calculator. So let's go and look at that. So here we go. So we can see here, this is nice. So yeah, so the chances of me getting this this Krakitten is 2%. So I'm going to have to breed 50 of those. And we can see here, because we can see in the patterns we have splat is, let's check this is right, I mean it must be, so splat is, there's a 37%, 37.5% I'm going to get a splat. And then there's a base colour, no, highlight colour is, no, let's find what we want. What do we want? Accent colour is cobalt, so that's going to be another 37.5. And then we want the wild one is ducky, so that's times 37.5. And then the environment is salty, so that's times 7.5. So it's that, yeah, so that's effectively that 0.375 times 375 times 375 times 375. So yeah, I've worked that out. It's the likelihood is, yes, exactly 2%. So that is just definitely not going to work. I mean, it could be super lucky, but 2% chance. I mean, no one would go into a casino with a 2% chance. So I'm going to not do that. That's a disaster. So we're going to stop that. No, no, no. So how can I breed one of these? So let's see. Something that we might be able to do here is if I stick with rising bubs, and then if I'm going to breed, no, let's not do it that way. No, I need to search first, I think, for signing. Okay. So I think I can use filters. So let's see if I do the filters, and now can I search by, so can I do salty? Yeah, can I add that? How can I do multiple ones, I wonder? So actually, let's not do salty, let's do ducky. Can we do ducky and salty and what's the other one? Cobalt. So there we go. Okay, so these ones have 3 of the ones I need. So the only one now I need, oh, that one's got, yeah, so the only one I need now is splat. So I could breed, basically just give the cheapest one. Which is that one gets in low to high order, so I could choose that one, and I could breed. So it's going to cost me 0.0045 ETH. 0.00, got the calculator out. 0.45 ETH is going to be about, well, it should be about 70 cents. So let's try and breed now. So I have to remember I have to breed now with my splat. So I reckon we'll definitely get a salty. So we can again go back to the breeding calculator and see. So it doesn't really, so it's still only a 3%, so I've increased it to 4% chance I'm going to get a Krakitten. So actually what I probably need to do then, because, let's have a look, so splat, yeah, so actually what I need. So this is kind of a good thing about breeding. So I had 2 cats, both had all the attributes they needed, but it scales up, and now I've got one with 2 of the attributes I need and one with 3 of the attributes I need, and it really doesn't help, doesn't change it very much. So the chances are I'll get a salty. It's very likely, 75% I'll get a salty attribute, but it's still the cobalt. So I've doubled that, but this is obviously how genetics works. So I've got yeah, so I've not really, so I've doubled it. So it's not really helped me very much. So that just gives me a salty. So the thing would be, I suppose, is the likelihood I get any of those 3 would be increased, but still not by very much, really. So I am tempted just to go stuff this for a can of worms, and search. Well, I suppose if we, we can just go and buy one, because otherwise, if we're breeding 50 or 25, and it's even, you know, it's suddenly getting into whatever dollars. So, and especially if you don't care what gen you're getting. So let's do a search here. For sale. It is all a little bit slow, but so for sale, and I suppose if I just put Krakitten, yeah. So we can see here, yeah. So this is going to be 0.0773 times 100. So this is going to cost $13 or something like that. But that's going to be that's effectively, if I was, that's 10 breeding cycles, maybe 20 breeding cycles. So it kind of is a reasonable kind of scenario. I mean, it's a Gen 8 and it's slow, so I mean, if I wanted a slightly better one, I don't even know how much ETH I've got actually. Let's have a look. 0.8. So I could buy that. Do I actually want to now? This is the interesting thing. When push comes to shove, how much do I actually care to buy the cheapest Krakitten out there? This price is going to go down. It's going to go down to 0.5. Interesting. Long pause. I don't know. What's this price going to go down to? Obviously, the interesting thing here is, will the price? I don't want the price to stay the same. Will the price go down? Because after the 6th of May, you can't get these anymore. So he's definitely. So what I could do, I wonder if I put an offer in. If I make an offer for point, it's going to go into, so you know, is he going to sell or not? If I made an offer for 0.07, I'd probably get it. But then would I actually want it? But I feel like it's very difficult actually. And the other interesting thing is, so we can go back to the other interesting thing is now that these ones are kind of coming in. So these are the CryptoKitty I can't even say this. It's like prestige, the cat stuff. So this is interesting because this is the CryptoKitty traits will unlock features in other dApps. And this one is going to run until 31st of August. So that's a bit more time. And this is a bit more interesting. So maybe this is something I should be focusing on. And you can see here, here are so there's 7 of these. You need these 3 to start with. I probably haven't got any of those. And then there's these hidden traits. So there we go. Maybe, I don't know though, the Krakitten one is nice, isn't it? Oh, doesn't like that. Transaction failed. Why is that the case? There we go. So that's how CryptoKitties. We're going to say that's how they make their money, but of course they don't. They only make 3.75% off the transaction. That's how Piccoli Morty makes his money. So the interesting point about CryptoKitties, he's got loads of them. He's been breeding them for, look at that, how many has he got? 679 kitties. And look at it, he's been breeding these for Billio. Look at that. Yeah, he's putting in there that he or she is a CryptoKitty breeder. Interesting. And he's okay, and so he's also, once he's got one, he's breeding it up as well to see if he can get more. Very clever. Anyway, so that was not quite as an exciting adventure as I thought it was going to be, but it is interesting. So it's my first adventure with CryptoKitties, and now it's not going to probably show now because it's waiting for Ethereum, and it's just gone through there. It's waiting also for the website to update. But now I have a Krakitten, and I'm gonna have a go at these robotic ones. I think a bit more seriously because I think they're going to be a little bit easier, and probably the Krakitten was probably the wrong one to start with. But anyway, I've got a Krakitten now, so no one can take it away from me. And you can't buy it. Well, you could buy it if you wanted, I suppose. But it is interesting how you suddenly say, how many have I got now? 15. Well, 15 now, yeah. 14, 15. But you can just see a whole bunch of these are kind of failed examples from a breeding pattern. But maybe I'll need them in the future. Who knows? Who knows? But it is. I can kind of start to see now, having had my CryptoKitties for a year. You can kind of start to see how it kind of pulls you in, and you just go, I'll just breed another one and see what happens. So there we go. Thanks for watching. This is a blockchain gaming world where I play blockchain games. Often a bit more serious games than CryptoKitties, but CryptoKitties is actually, I think, the best example of a blockchain gaming experience, at least in the way it kind of pulls you in. And obviously, it's the biggest game by far in terms of people who've played, and the biggest in terms of kind of ETH generally. And for that reason, we should be playing it to understand the kind of philosophical and psychological impact of blockchain on games. So thanks for watching. Any comments, stick them in the comments box, of course. Don't forget to subscribe. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon, hopefully.